Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report. It's August 23rd, 2016, and this is a look at the ES in the daily time frame. One thing that I notice here, obviously, is that we're still stuck in that 2188 zone. 2188 half is the basically the 50% expansion level from the Brexit key range, and we've been kind of stalled there, but holding above the top of the Brexit key range. And that's usually quite bullish. Right now, we've also reached 2188s. That's the 100% expansion target from the key range last week that we marked intraday. So we've reached a couple of targets up here. And typically speaking, anytime we get into 2188s here or 2185s and above, we've been seeing some rotation back down this way, and now we're back into it. We'll see if there's some acceptance that can be seen. 2185 holding above that level would be significant, and that could spark a continuation higher. With our PivotBoss ADR method targets for the week, actually right here, this low for the week, if that remains the low, then you have a primary upside target at 2212, and that's a 75% of average weekly range over the last 10 weeks. This is a high probability scaling target. That's 2199. So you have a couple of upside targets here to play toward by the end of the week if prices can start to squeeze beyond 2185s. All right, here's a look at the intraday time frame right now. So again, we've just reached the 100% expansion target. If I scroll this out a bit, you'll see exactly where it came from. Here it is. So basically, there's the key range. Here's the midpoint. You can see prices just kind of hung around the 50% of expansion. Was also defended off the 25% inner key level, and now we just reached 2188, and that's the 100% expansion. So basically that key range has done its magic. We could keep it on there, we can take it off. I'll just go ahead and take it off for now. And what you'll see right now is prices are holding above the 2185s that we talked about. So right here there's a nice little LVN, and you can see it just kind of goes back 84.85. Every time the price gets into that zone, it's been offered back down. So right now prices are holding above that area. If there's any failure to hold above that zone and price comes back into it, that could be an area where bears look to defend and then retrade prices all the way back into 71.74, 71.73. So that's one approach to watch out for if this thing can't hold 85s. Holding this zone, if bulls continue to defend it, then that implies that we could be looking at some more upside. And right now, the primary upside target on the day, 21.91, and the 100% target on the day is 93.75. So we have a couple of upside targets to play toward. Actually, we're already at 75, so those would be the 100 and 125% expansion targets. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. Okay, so here's crude. Let's pop this up into a daily time frame. One thing we were talking about yesterday was how significant it was that prices, this was in the trading room, that prices were breaking below the previous low here. This is something we talked about last week when we were talking Friday. And during that talk in the trading room, I said if it stays like this, then look for a big day to go auctioned on Monday. If so, look for price to come back to here for bears to defend. I said typically speaking, you want overnight session to just rally into that zone of resistance and then go offered. What's happening in this case is price is already trading to new lows, and that leaves the previous session's low as a key level to watch. If price can hold above the close above that level, that could imply another round of strength here. Very similar to this 2-day move where we saw a rally, 2 days down, and then boom. This could be the same thing, a rally, 2 days down, and then we start to see this thing pop back up. So we'll see if we can find rejection. The previous session's low is going to be very important. If price remains below that zone, we could continue to hunt back down toward value. So we'll see how much more we get, but I do believe that this pullback could offer another great buying opportunity soon. On an intraday basis, we pop this up right here. There we go. Again, the previous session, what we were looking for was for these lows to be crossed. And this is what I mentioned before. If price stays like this all day on Friday, then Sunday or early Monday, we're likely going to see prices get offered, and that could spark a pretty big move down. And now coming back into this zone may offer first resistance. So this LVN right here is going to be very important. That's 47.30. Above that LVN, if prices can hold and build above it, you could see a price retrade 48.50. That might be an area where bears come in and look to defend as well. So right now, this could be an area where prices, if prices can get back above 47.20, 47.30, again, here's the previous session's low, that's 33, that could offer an opportunity to retrade back toward 48.50. And in that level, you may see some bears come back in, at least short term. So right now, those are a couple of the key levels to watch. The previous session's low is going to be very important, and you can see these prior highs here, 47.20. So you got this little LVN channel right there to watch. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. All right, let's pop this up on a daily time frame. Here you go. This one, obviously, we've been talking about that important key level up here, which is 1362.5. That's the top of the Brexit key range. And we've been mentioning how prices in the market have failed to establish acceptance above that zone, thus we've rotated lower. This recent time, we're seeing a lot of bears come in and absorb just below where the rejection occurred, right at the 62.5. But we're also seeing bulls come in and absorb off the FOMC level. That's 1334.30. So we see both sides of the game right now. And really, it could go either way right now. It really could. We've got enough energy built up into this range that if prices can probe through 62s, 62.5 and get through 65 and 70, right there, that could lead to a big move ahead. If prices can't hold the FOMC level, then easily the stops push price right back into 1306 to 1310. This zone right here likely to be defended yet again, and it could be another 60 handle rally off that zone. So keep that in mind. This is the strongest area of support or resistance in this chart right now. So if price drops into this area, you got to be able to defend it and bring it back to value, and then look to bring it across the range. But right now, it's anyone's ball game off of this support level, 1334.30, and then this resistance level, 62.5. All right, let's take a look lastly at the NQ. One thing we were talking about the NQ yesterday was the fact that despite some minor rejection here in the pullback and the look like it's having some absorption, this looked like a bullish absorption signature or a bullish continuation absorption signature where price is basically being defended here, but there's bigger market participants down here, passive buyers that are absorbing down below, looking to run the buy stops above. And so right now we're starting to see the very beginning of that, which could spark a little bit more strength. But you have to see price remain above 48.20. That's the level we were talking about yesterday, 48.20. If prices can close and hold above that zone, there's much more upside ahead. This thing's been drifting higher. But if there's any rejection above that level, that's going to be another rejection of prices above that zone. This one will likely take prices right back into 47.65 and run those recent lows. So this is going to be very important in 48.20. If prices can hold, we continue the squeeze. If they fail, you're likely gunning for these lows and this support level, 47.65. So a couple things to keep in mind. Looking at the intraday time frame now, you can see the reason why we're talking about 48.20, especially yesterday, is there's a major LVN right there, and this is where we've seen all of the back and forth that we've been talking about. And recently here we see prices go bid right here on this bar and holding now above 48.20. Very similar to what we talked about in some of the others here. If this thing breaks back below 48.20 and then comes back and you start to see it become resistance, that could be a major signal right there that implies a move across the range. Remember, we talked about this earlier just a moment ago. So if prices fail to hold this zone and they become sealed off the LVN, not only are you going to trade back to value, but you usually retrade all of the prices back within this prior range. So you're going to come back toward 47.89.5. So this is going to be the level to continue to watch. If prices can remain above it, look for further strength ahead. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.